Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. We'll wait for people to start filtering in. Looks like we have about 25 folks signed in. Wait for that to go up a little bit before we start today's event. All right, things look great. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we're thrilled to have you. With me today is a group of leaders from across the campus who are here to answer any questions that you have. I'm so thrilled that we have continued the tradition of coming together at the beginning of the semesters and sometimes at the end of the semesters to share information and to answer your questions. And for those I haven't met, I'm Andy Armacost. I'm the president here at the University of North Dakota. Let me offer my official welcome back to campus for the start of the semester. Really excited to get things rolling. And there's so much happening on campus. And this week, in fact, we have Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, is visiting us on Thursday evening and all day on Friday. He'll be at the hockey game to drop a puck, but he'll give a public presentation at the Memorial Union at 2 o'clock on Friday, and everybody's welcome to come. And if you're Shark Tank fans, this is an amazing experience. So hope to see you there. The semester also marks, just for your information, our visit for Higher Learning Commission accreditation. So this is our reaffirmation of accreditation. It's an important visit. We go through this visit every 10 years, so it's a really big deal. The HLC, as it's known, has asked us to distribute a survey to all students to fill out before they show up. And they'd really like to know your feedback, to hear your perspectives. So pay attention to your email accounts, as my office will be distributing the link to the survey when we're authorized to send it out to you. So pay attention to that. We really value your input. And most importantly, the HLC, the Higher Learning Commission, will really appreciate your thoughts. Today, this event is a chance to provide you with updates on key initiatives and to answer any questions that you might have. And we'll get there in a minute. But I wanted to, and I don't know if he's here. I don't think he is. We have a new vice president on campus, Scott Snyder, who's now in his second week. If he were here, he'd wave. But he was here for the faculty and staff session earlier. I wanted to draw your attention also to our most recent bi-weekly video, which featured both Ella Nelson and Connor Ferguson, who they are our student body president and vice president. And their focus was on, and I know this is of interest to this group, their focus was on behavioral health and resources that are available on our campus for students, faculty, and staff members. And just know that how we support you really matters. And I ask that we all continue to look out for one another, to make our peers feel valued, and that everybody should know that others are paying attention to your needs. One of the issues that feeds uncertainty on our campus, of course, I've talked about previously in 2 campus letters, and that's the impact of war and conflicts overseas and the impact it has on the behavioral health of the members of our campus. We also have the impact of the Native American repatriation that's been happening on campus, and it's certainly impacting many campus members, in particular, our Indigenous students, faculty, and staff members. And so for those who are suffering anxiety and anguish because of events happening across the world or even close to home, just know that we have great support systems for you, and you'll hear more about those this evening. There are certainly things that we can do to reduce the burden on those who are suffering, and it really begins with a sense of respect and recognizing the dignity of other human beings. And with the war in Gaza and the attacks that happened in Israel, I know that nationally, there's been a noted increase in anti-Semitic and Islamophobic actions. And we've had several on our campus as well. We've also seen several recent racist actions on our campus targeting the Black community. And just know that our University Police Department has responded to each of these reports and provided their strongest support to those who have made these reports. And our senior campus leaders have also been involved in offering support to those who have been impacted, whether it's individuals or groups of students. I ask each member of our campus to join me in reinforcing the principles of dignity and respect on a daily basis by rejecting racism and discrimination of any type and offering personal support to anyone who's negatively impacted by such actions. And finally, our campus is a wonderful environment to share ideas and to gain understanding of different perspectives of others on a wide array of issues. And I'm proud of our campus's commitment to the ideals of free speech and academic freedom, 2 concepts that are related but distinct. And we're going to continue to protect those ideals on our campus. And free speech does come with limits, however, specifically when it crosses the line to become a direct and personal threat towards other human beings or individuals. And we won't tolerate threatening statements or threatening actions directed toward any member of our campus community. So I wanted to begin tonight with a reminder of that sense of dignity and humanity that UND is known for. How we treat others, the sense of respect and the joy that we bring to each other in our daily lives, I think is really important. It's something that I value in our campus community, and I hope that you do as well. So on tap today are questions that we've gotten in advance. For those who want to type questions on the fly tonight, use the Q&A function. It's at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and put your questions in there, and we'll get to those here in a moment. But on tap, to start, we have questions about artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI, questions about behavioral and mental health. We have questions about the Wellness Center. And then, of course, no meeting would be complete without discussions of parking. And so to lead our discussion through these and many other issues, let me introduce our Associate Vice President for Student Affairs, Cassie Gerhardt. Dr. Gerhardt, over to you.
Thank you, President Armacost. Thank you very much. So I'll just reiterate, keep adding those questions to the Q&A. And as the President said, we have some questions to get us started. So in light of the President's opening comments, I'm going to kick off with a question about mental health. And so Dr. Pokornowski, if you come on screen, I'll get you this question. Dr. Pokornowski, can you share information about the services that are offered to help students struggling with mental health issues, stress, anything that really is affecting their well-being? Could you just talk about services available for our student body?
Yes, thank you, Cassie. And I also say thank you to President Armacost for talking about the video he did with Connor and Ella earlier this week. I think that was a great job of offering some of this information as well. And Connor did a great job about talking about what he does for his own personal well-being. But specifically as it relates to mental health, some additional services I'd like to highlight are offered through our counseling center. We offer therapy, both group and individual sessions, substance use, evaluations, and level 1 treatment. Students can also use our services for consultation and case management. We have emergency and crisis sessions available daily. If a student would like to start engaging in therapy, we have about a 1 to 2 week period for students to get into our services. But if you look at the national averages, many places are up around 2 months or even longer. So 1 to 2 weeks is something we're very proud of. Currently, we're able to provide services both in person and remotely, and we're able to provide those services to students in over 40 states, including North Dakota and Minnesota and many others. If a student has medication and they like medication management, they can also work with our student health services. And we also offer psychiatric services through student health. The other thing I'd like to talk a little bit about is oftentimes students are also looking out for each other or worried about one another. We offer a couple of different training programs that are really designed to help students know how to look out for one another. One of them is the Green Bandana program. If you see students walking around campus with a green bandana on their backpack, what that signifies is someone who's trained to help students who are in crisis or help them identify what are those resources, what are those support services that are available to them, and be a peer support for them. We have another one of those trainings coming up for the general student population in April, and any student group can reach out to the counseling center and request that training as well. In addition to that, we also do emotional first aid training, which is kind of like a truncated version of that green bandana training that's available through our counseling center throughout the year. I would also like to encourage people that if you are worried about someone and you're not sure what to do, reach out, ask for help. If you reach out, you're not going to get in trouble. They're not going to get in trouble. We're just going to do what we can to support your fellow students or yourself or whoever it may be. So whether it be a family member, a student, or whoever it may be, reach out and ask for assistance, and we'll help guide you or help get that student that you're concerned about the care that they need. After hours, I would encourage people to reach out to 211 or First Link. It's our 24/7 line that is available for people to reach out for assistance. You can reach out for yourself if you are concerned about yourself, or if you're concerned about someone else, you can call that number and they'll help guide you through what options may or may not be available for you and those sorts of things. So thanks, Cassie.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. While we're on mental health, I'm going to ask Dean Krause to come on screen. The questions in the area of mental health always raise some questions for our students in aviation, and specifically the impact of seeking assistance and what that might do to their progression in flight courses and all of that. So Dean Krause, can you speak specifically to what does it mean to our aviation students if they're having maybe some well-being, mental health challenges for which they would like some assistance?
Certainly, Cassie, thank you. It's a great question. And so I'll echo what Alex just said about what the university's resources are available to all students. In particular for aviation, one of the things we've done is we've embedded the University Counseling Center counselor in the School of Aerospace Sciences, who is shared between us and the University Counseling Center. In addition to that, that counselor, as well as all of the licensed counselors in the counseling center, have received aviation specific training. So when a student is concerned enough to go talk to one of those counselors, they are aware of the repercussions and any of the rules and things like that that do come into play with aviation students. There is another resource below that level that I would also offer up, and it is a peer support program. So many of the airlines have a 1-800 number that they can call, and it's usually attached to one of the unions that they have that has mental health first aid trained personnel that they can talk to. We have implemented that ourselves. And so similar to what Alex said with the Green Bandana program, we have a student-led program called Uplift that students can go online and access, or call a phone number and access, and then it's triaged to the students that are part of and trained in this program to give that effectively mental health first aid level of support to the students. And then if necessary, they can refer those people to the counselors, who are also then aware of all of the restrictions with aviation.
Thanks, Dean Krause, and kudos to you and your team for the leadership you're providing to our students, not only on campus, but really internationally in this area of mental health and aviation preparation programs. So thank you very much. We're going to shift gears just a little bit, again, going back to some of those pre-submitted questions to make sure that we get them. And again, please feel free to submit your questions in the Q&A. And we're going to let's go to AI. So Jeff Holm, I think I'm going to take this question to you. Because beyond knowing what AI stands for, that's really my limitations in all of this. So for you, sir, many students are raising questions about AI and certainly see it as a tool to use in the classroom. Can you talk about situations in terms of any policies that might be modified to increase AI usage, or maybe limiting students' use of AI? So anything there? And then Dr. Pokranowski, if you're seeing anything related to the code, but we'll start with you, Dr. Holm.
Great, thank you. And this is both a wonderful question and also a very difficult question, because the whole area of AI in education is in flux, and there are a lot of different concerns about it, but there's also a lot of excitement about it too. And I think that exists for both students and faculty. I work primarily on the faculty end of things. So to understand where we are right now about the use of AI in courses and in kind of academic work here at the university, first of all, you need to understand that there are university and there are also system and also state policies, but then there's also guidelines or course policies. Course policies are really up to the instructor of the course. Instructors of the course have a lot of freedom in setting their course policies as long as they don't contradict a university policy. I would put AI right now, in fact, not just I, but all of us in this area working with professors would put AI in the area of course policies. And in fact, we just recently updated the course policy suggestion for AI that's included in kind of a sample syllabus that faculty can use. Now, that policy essentially says this. It says the issue with AI right now is one of academic honesty, academic integrity. So the use of AI can be, or I should say AI can be used freely as long as students admit that they're using it. And by admit, I mean cite the use of the AI in the product that they're producing. Unless, of course, keep in mind, the instructor says no, AI cannot be used in this class, or AI cannot be used, say, perhaps for one particular assignment. But our recommendation is, so the sample syllabus that instructors would look at says that it can be used as long as it's cited appropriately, because the issue really has to do with academic honesty and integrity. You can't pay another student to write a paper for you and claim that that paper is yours. You can't ask AI to write the paper for you and claim it as yours. You can cite that you used AI in crafting your own version of the paper, but you can't simply take it and use it as yours. Now, the question also implies, are things going to change? And I will say yes. Of course, things will change. Higher education has always been accused of changing slowly, but we do change. And I think that this is an area that obviously next year I may say a few different things, and certainly in 3 or 4 or 5 years at the absolute most, I might say a lot different things about it. There are some resources on the UND webpage. I think one of the best resources that's really geared to faculty, but I think can really help students understand it, is in the TADA, the Teaching Transformation and Development Academy website. If you look up TADA, T-T-A-D-A, do a search and put artificial intelligence, you'll find the page. Lots of good recommendations, again, geared to faculty, but I think you'll understand then what the general zeitgeist, the general sense is that we're trying to get faculty to adopt in being able to use and evaluate, and being able to let students use AI and evaluate the work that they do. So with that, I'll turn it over to Alex and see if he has anything he'd like to add to that.
Yep, thanks, Jeff. Cassie referenced the code of student life, and that's really the university set of expectations that we have for students. A portion of that is academic integrity or academic dishonesty. And so I'm really going to echo what my colleague, Dr. Holm, shared, in that how we've addressed it from a code of student life standpoint is really that it is the faculty of the course's discretion or their right to determine what is and is not appropriate. So we encourage faculty to share that with students. But students, if you're not sure if what you're doing is or is not allowed, what I would advise you to do is go and ask the faculty member before doing the assignment or before whatever the task it is that you're thinking about using AI for or to help you with, is ask the faculty member what their thoughts are if it hasn't specifically been addressed, so that you know in advance what the expectations are for that specific course.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Jeff. We're going to shift gears completely, and I'm going to go to the Wellness Center. So Chris Siriano, if you could join us or come off of hold there. Question about our Wellness Center, Chris. Does the Wellness Center have any plans for facility updates? And if so, what might be in the works?
Sure. Good evening. Thanks, Cassie. So the Wellness Center opened its doors about 17 years ago. So right now we are focused on refreshing some aspects of our building that need attention due to age. We are in the process of finalizing plans for a complete lighting replacement project for the Wellness Center. This will replace light fixtures and systems that are 17 years old, which some are beginning to fail. And we'll be moving to an energy efficient lighting system for our building. We also have some flooring that we're going to be looking at replacing in the next 18 to 24 months. So in various parts of our building, we have a lot of wear and tear being a 17-year-old building. In regards to, a lot of the usage that we have here for students, cardio equipment, strength equipment, we're in a phase right now where we're beginning to replace upwards of 50 pieces of cardio equipment over the next 2 years. Those are pieces of equipment like treadmills and stair climbers, bikes. We've heard from our students a desire to have more stair climbers. So we just recently installed 4 new ones. We have 11 new treadmills that were just installed a few months ago. The cool thing is we really try to make sure that we can stay on the cutting edge of technology. And so we're adopting some new technology that's not really out there yet. For example, our new treadmills and stair climbers that we just installed will give students the ability to wirelessly charge their phone. If they have a wireless phone that can be charged wirelessly, they can simply place their phone on the cardio display on a little charging icon. And so while they work out, their phone could be charged. In the coming weeks, we're going to be installing a technology that will allow students to cast something that they're watching on their phone onto our 16-inch displays. So a lot of students right now will come sit on a bike, maybe walk on a treadmill. They'll place their 6-inch phone on the console and watch their favorite show. Now they'll be able to cast that image onto a bigger display and hopefully have a more enjoyable exercise experience and a little bit more of a seamless experience with their device. Another thing is we see a lot less wired headphones and more Bluetooth headphones. And so right now, all of the new cardio that we're installing will allow students to connect their Bluetooth headphones directly to the treadmill. And then when their program is over, their exercise program is over, once they hit stop on the device, all of the connections are lost and nothing is stored within our equipment. So we've got some really cool technology that we're going to be rolling out. Stay tuned to our social media where we'll be slowly updating and sharing the features that are going to be coming here soon, some of which are already in place. And then I think lastly, what we've heard from students is they'd like to see more functional strength equipment, things like cables. We are a very busy facility and we're happy that students are using us, but we're kind of assessing areas of our building where maybe we can change some things around, add some more functional strength areas so that students can kind of spread around the building, find a little bit more privacy and continue with their workouts. So we have a lot of exciting technology, a lot of replacement things happening. So thank you for the question. And we're looking forward to sharing all of this with you.
Thanks, Chris. I just want to make a segue there. I think Chris talks great updates about what's going on in the facility, and we started with some questions in the area of well-being and mental health. Our wellness center, beyond just the cardio equipment and things provided, provides a number of great programs and opportunities for students to maybe de-stress and address some of their well-being and mental health things. So I would encourage you, beyond just the physical workout aspects of the wellness center, to check out the programming and other opportunities there that we think are also component of us supporting well-being and student mental health here at the university. So there's more to the wellness center than just some of the equipment, but I appreciate that's where the question was focused. Mr. Pieper, I'm going to get you to come on because we've of course got a few parking questions. And as you do that, I was asked to also make an announcement. Some of you as students, if you've navigated campus, you may have seen some flyers on some doors and probably some not appropriate or typical posting places over the last few days. We've had some not university official posters hung up with a QR code about, I think this focus was on new student parking permit. Those are not, in fact, university signs. Someone is trying to capture information. So please be mindful, there are no new student parking permits. And I was asked to make that announcement. And I thought that was an appropriate place to do it, Mike, as we segue to you. So the general question, maybe some updates about what is the university doing about parking? What are some priorities for the year to come? We continue to hear from students, maybe that students don't have enough places to park. They're maybe not where they want them. So maybe just a general update of parking priorities for 2024.
Yes, and thank you for that update. You know, I guess I would start by saying the last really major operational change in the parking utility aspect on campus was well over a decade ago when the parking ramp came online. And so what we're doing is we engaged with Kimberly Horn, a nationally recognized parking services expert, to work with us throughout this academic year to help us gather data, gather information from our customers, gather benchmarking data from other institutions, and come forward with their thoughts and recommendations. So where we're at right now with that project is they've been on campus. They're coming back in February to check out the campus operations during colder climate. They'll have a employee student visitor survey that'll be going out in February that we encourage everybody to participate in. The more information that we get back, I think the better the outcomes of this project will be and suggestions that we'll get. While they're here next month, they'll also be having some focus groups. So some emails started to go out to the different faculty, staff, student senates to set up some times to have dialogue. There'll also be open hours and times in the union during those 2 days to visit with the consultant, share your concerns and thoughts and ideas. But parking at the end of the day kind of boils down to three major objectives. Sometimes they're competing objectives, but availability is one. Convenience or where parking is located is two, and then cost. So, currently the campus has available parking. It's not always convenient parking. And then, there's different opinions on cost. So this analysis that's being done is really gathering that information to see if there's a better balance of those three objectives, along with all the things that have changed over the last decade in terms of more remote working, and is there better daily options than permits, hybrid classes. I'm not coming on campus every day. What are some better options? The other thing is the campus has changed dramatically in terms of new buildings, some buildings going away. We're working on a potential parking lot right now where Gamble was. When Merrifield reopens, we can expand parking by the Burtness area to better serve that convenience aspect of parking. So again, lots of work going on, lots of opportunities for students to share their thoughts and ideas. Please take that opportunity. Our goal is to gather that information, start to draft some things in March and April, and make sure that we wrap up our recommendations before everybody goes away for the summer this coming spring. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Again, we're getting down to the end of the already submitted Q&A questions. So if you have some other questions you'd like us to respond to, please submit those. One more question that's been submitted, and this is a question that we probably could have an entire town hall just on this subject. And so I'm going to actually call in a few colleagues that may be able to provide different perspectives. So President Armacost, Karen Plum, Dean Krause, Dean Bickel, all of you may have aspects you want to respond to. And the question is this. This attendee would like to hear updates about the status of scholarship and teaching at UND. I would also like to know whether there are any specific challenges at this point that the university faces in order to fulfill its mission. In particular, this person is interested in the College of Arts and Sciences, which we do not necessarily have the dean with us this evening, but also aviation. So that's where Dean Krause. So all of you, I don't know where to take it. Jeff Holm, you may have some things to share. President Armacost, do you maybe want to just talk a little bit about where we're at in fulfilling mission and maybe how that connects with where we're at with strategic priorities?
Right. So Suzanne Renner, thank you for the question. It's a pretty broad question. So we're going to all kind of take pokes at different directions, I think, to give you some, and the others, some good information. Scholarship and teaching are the fundamental part of what we do. We just launched our new strategic plan called UND Leads, which stands for Learning, Equity, Affinity, Discovery, and Service. And so the L and the D tie exactly to what you're talking about, as do the others, but really primarily those. So our focus on learning and making sure our students have the best possible experience while they're here is vital. We're always looking at new areas of growth. We just launched 3 new majors. There's a journalism, the return of journalism. We have a new major in aerospace engineering and a new major in the biomedical engineering as well. And so what we want to do is add programs that and teach those programs in ways that are modern. It's important for us to make sure the investment that you and the students have made pays off. And so we're always looking at what's important to develop those skills for people to be successful, not just tying to specific workforce needs, but also the general skills of being great critical thinkers as you go out and impact society. So teaching is primary in what we do. And the scholarship piece, this is all forms of discovery, whether it's research or creative activities. There's just huge opportunities across the campus for our students to be involved, undergraduate, graduate students, and then our professors maintain active research portfolios that really put UND on the map in terms of contributions to different fields of study. Those are very general comments, and it's a chance. I was speaking so that others can actually tee up their thoughts. I don't know who. Just pop your screen up if you want to speak next. Oh, I see Bob Krause, since he can give you the aerospace and the aviation perspective. So Dean Bob Krause, over to you, and then you can pass it along to the next person.
Thanks, President Armacost. So the first thing I would say is, specifically, we're talking about faculty and faculty qualifications and their ability to conduct scholarship and teaching. I will echo what Dr. Holm mentioned earlier with the Teaching Transformation and Development Academy, that all faculty are encouraged to participate in and use the resources available from TDA, and in some cases are incentivized to participate in the course design work that's there, which is really specialized to focus both on on-campus students as well as online students to make a better learning environment for all. And then the professors end up having a better course in the end of it. And so many professors do take advantage of those. I would also say, depending on the specific program that we have, so in aviation in particular, we do have a balance between tenure track and non-tenure track faculty. And there is a difference in expectation of research between those two. So where the tenure track traditionally do more research. Overall, our college and the university are very healthy right now in the amount of grants and contracts that are coming into the schools that we have. We have a number of initiatives across several colleges that are working together to even garner more grants and contracts. And so it's a growing research program already on top of what we have. In terms of the number of publications, it looks, you got to look specifically at what we're doing. So the aviation department is really good with aviation safety and data analytics, as well as in the UAS realm. That's probably our two biggest strengths there. And so, I mean, obviously, if there are specific concerns or questions that you have, we're happy to answer those offline. But in general, we're always encouraging scholarship of teaching and learning for faculty. So who wants to go next? Jeff, over to you.
Hi there. Thanks. Thanks, Dean Krause. I'm just going to add a couple of little things in related to the area that I do. One of the things I think that I really love about being here at UND is that the deans and the administrators, from President Armacost to Provost Link, and as I said, including really all the deans and department chairs, are usually very interested in looking at new ways to A, attract different types of students, and B, provide ways in which they can access the opportunities here at UND that fits within their lifestyle. Now, a very obvious one is online, but that's not really the only thing I mean. Give you an example. A couple of things that my team is working on right now is kind of a student-led learning part, which is called Circle In, and students in the College of Arts and Sciences, Center of College of Education and Human Development, and College of Engineering and Mines are piloting that product right now that allows students essentially, it's like forming a study group. Instead of going to the union, as you can do if you're on campus, it allows you to form that study group online and work together in a virtual space. Another example, and then I'm actually going to turn it over to Dr. Plum and perhaps Chelsea Mellentine as well to talk a little bit, is experiential learning. We, for example, work with a company called Ripen that connects faculty and their courses to real employers and real world projects that those employers have. So as part of a course you take, if the faculty member has worked Ripen into it, you can actually work on a company's project as part of that course. And that ties into, and I'll hopefully given Dr. Plum and Chelsea Mellentine a little bit of advance warning, it ties into our Center for Experiential Learning. And I think that's another great example of one of the challenges that we're addressing and hopefully will lead us to a better place. Dr. Plum.
Thanks, Jeff. Our staff in the Experiential Learning Center met with every single department chair across the fall semester to talk about the different opportunities that they're providing for students and how they're building experiential learning into their curriculum and the opportunities for students outside of the classroom as well. So our new center just opened in July. It includes study abroad opportunities, It includes career services, career development opportunities like internship, job shadowing, co-op experiences, and we're building up our undergrad research and creative scholarly activity options for students. And most of the meetings that we had focused a lot on that, a lot on faculty wanting to get more students involved in the creative scholarly activities that they were involved in and undergrad research across the board.
Dean Bickle, it's all you. Go ahead.
Thanks so much, Cassie. I would just maybe take that question in a slightly different way in terms of talking about how the libraries is engaging in this space. When we think about how we're engaging with our colleagues in the faculty and students with teaching and learning, scholarship and creativity, we're often thinking about how do we provide collections, services, and inspiring spaces, inspiring and supportive spaces that enable the development of students as scholars, that enables the development of students as creatives, as makers, students as teachers, perhaps. So echoing some of the comments you've heard before, you know, I hope some of these would be expected. Our librarians are offering opportunities for students and faculty to engage with us in both online spaces in terms of our online chat and research services and in-person spaces. So students and faculty walking into Chester Fritz Library and engaging with our librarians, with our information resources, but also understanding how they can use the spaces to be more successful, again, on that journey that our students are on as in their development as scholars. So I'm not sure that I see challenges in this space, right? When we think about this, I think there's the continued opportunity and our continued need to hear feedback from our students and faculty to make sure we're balancing those priorities properly. So we're meeting you in the space where you need to be and fully engaged with you as you're developing within these spaces. So thanks.
Thank you all. As I said, when I launched the question, I think this is a topic we could have an entire town hall over, and probably everybody who's with us tonight as a panelist could talk about what they're doing in the space of scholarship to support the university, both in the classroom and out of the classroom. So my thanks to my colleagues who shared a little bit from their respective perspectives. We don't have any more submitted questions. So again, please take this opportunity. We're happy to stay for as long as we still have questions coming in. While we're waiting for people maybe to submit a lingering question, I do want to ask my colleague Chelsea Melentine to come on screen and maybe share some updates. You heard Jeff Holm talk about the Experiential Learning Center, an amazing new resource and facility on campus. And so Chelsea, can you maybe explain what is the Experiential Learning Center and maybe highlight a few of your upcoming events for students?
Yeah, thanks so much, Cassie. Hello, everyone. So our Experiential Learning Center, as Dr. Plum shared earlier, combines our undergraduate research, so the opportunity for students to connect with faculty members and learn more about what they're doing in research labs or in creative scholarly activities. It also combines study abroad. So if students are interested in any study abroad opportunities, whether those be semester or summer abroad programs, we also have shorter term programs in which students can engage in as well through our university directed programs. And then career services. So learning more about ways to engage in internships, in co-op opportunities, job shadowing if a student isn't totally certain on what types of career opportunities that they could partake in with their major. So those are just some of the various ways that students can get connected to Experiential Learning Center on our campus. We are located in McCannell Hall, room 190, excuse me. So feel free to drop in at any point in time. I've got a very friendly staff ready and willing to help assist students. Some of our upcoming events that we're really excited about are, our first one is our Career Expos. That is taking place on Monday, February 5th, which is our STEM day. So primarily focusing on science, technology, engineering, and math. That's from 11 to 3 in the Memorial Union second floor, kind of taking over the second floor that day. We have over 95 companies registered for that first day. And then our second day is our all other industries. So arts and sciences, our healthcare, business, aerospace companies are coming Tuesday, February 6th, again from 11 to 3 in the second floor of the Memorial Union, offering free Grubhub vouchers for students. So we definitely encourage them to come check it out. We also encourage them to visit with career services beforehand. We'd be happy to help assist with their elevator pitch, making sure that their resume is up to date. If they haven't even started a resume yet, that's okay. We can give them the tools and the resources that they need to get that part started. Something new that we're really excited about as of this fall semester in October, we launched our Career Closet. And so we are hosting Career Closet drop-in days next week, January 29th through February 2nd. And that will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Students can check in, and then we'll have staff members that will bring them up to our Career Closet. So our Career Closet is an opportunity for students to get to 3 professional attire items each semester that they're a student here with us, just for any networking opportunities, our upcoming expos, other career fairs, job fairs, conferences, that type of thing. So we'll have those drop-in days. Otherwise, students can schedule an appointment if they visit our Experiential Learning Center and click on Career Services. We have a Career Closet spot where they can go ahead and schedule an appointment with us as well if those drop-in days do not work for them. And then just one last quick thing, because we have lots of exciting things going on in our space, is our study abroad. So if any students are interested in studying abroad, I would encourage in making an appointment with our study abroad advisor, Allison. In the Experiential Learning Center, we have upcoming deadlines for summer is February 15th, and then for fall is March 1st. So again, if you go to the Experiential Learning website under Study Abroad, students can complete what they call a profile. And in that profile, it kind of matches their interests and based on, what country they might be interested in, different programs, and it will give them kind of a list and help them whittle that down. But of course, we have Study Abroad advisor on hand to help support that as well. I think that's all from our area. Happy to take any questions, but you could certainly visit our website. Like I said, it's got all of our staff members' contact information out there. Thanks, Cassie.
Chelsea, before you leave, I think you've got a JCPenney suit up event coming on Sunday night, right? Or want to have that one yet? Go ahead.
Yep. That's Sunday. So we JCPenney closes the entire store down for us. So after the NFL playoffs, if anyone's watching those, we got some other exciting events that night too. So we'll be there from 6 to 9 p.m. and JCPenney staff on hand to help with putting outfit pieces together. If students are unsure about those types of things, they get an additional 30% off of any of their attire. And that coupon actually runs throughout the entire month. So it's available for both our on-campus students who want to have that in-person shopping experience, but for any of our online students as well, we do have that coupon code that we can give students. So any of our online students can also take advantage of that.
Thanks, Chelsea. I only know that one because I may have forwarded it to my own son, who's a student.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I appreciate it, Chelsea. Thanks for all you do. Students, if you haven't checked out the Experiential Learning Center, please do. Tremendous resources and opportunities to add to your entire university experience. So please check it out. Going to shift gears now to housing while Troy Noldner comes on screen. Troy, can you explain upcoming housing deadlines and what current students need to complete if they're planning to live in the residence halls next fall?
Thanks, Cassie. My name is Troy Noller. I'm Director of Housing and Residence Life. Thank you for attending tonight. So we have a couple of assignment processes that are going on right now. So I'm going to start with our process for our current students living on campus. We call it our room sign up. Students who live on campus have the opportunity to get first priority to return back to our campus residence halls. The sign-up process actually started last week on the 17th. It continues on now through March. We're doing same room selection. So if you're in your room right now and you want to keep that room for next year, you get first priority to do that. For those students who are looking to move to a different space on campus, we ask that they apply by February 1st in order to get priority in that first room selection process. which will take place beginning shortly after February 2nd. We'll send out times and other things like that to students. I would encourage, if you haven't done so, go to our housing.und.edu website and click on the room sign up tab. And that will give you all the dates, deadlines, and information you need to make sure you're getting the right selection for next year. If the question is in regards to our new student application for students new to the campus in fall 2024, we also have that kind of concurrently going. Applications have been open since October. We will continue taking applications all through the summer. The priority deadline to be included in our first round of applications is March 1st. It is based on date of application. So the earlier that students apply, the better place in line they get through the selection process. And again, all that information for new students coming in into fall 24 is available online at our website. And then the final thing that sometimes students aren't always aware of is that we do manage apartments on campus that are more like a monthly off-campus apartment experience. And so if you're interested in that, that's a separate application process that you can find in our housing self-service portal. Just pay for the application fee there. Let us know what type of time frame you're looking for housing. And then we look to find the best match for you according to what units we have available at that time. We would love to talk more about housing options for anybody who is interested. Contact us anytime at housing@und.edu or stop in our office. We really appreciate those face-to-face connections as well. If you have more questions, just let me know.
Sounds good. Thanks, Troy. Janelle, I'm going to call on you. And this is a question that's being talked about around my dinner table as my incoming students like, Mom, we need to work on the FAFSA. The FAFSA is due. I got to have it in by February 1st. So can you explain everything new FAFSA and what people maybe need to know, both for perhaps our incoming new students as well as our returning students?
Yeah, thanks for the question, everybody. My name is Janelle Kilgore. I'm the Vice Provost of Enrollment Management here at the University of North Dakota. Thank you for all of your patience as the U.S. Department of Education transitions the formula and the question structures and things like that too. I think we also have a lot of questions from our financial aid community regarding the free application for federal student aid. What I will say for current undergraduate students, I would encourage you to complete your FAFSA application by March 1st. So if you are potentially eligible for a scholarship for the university that may be considered need-based, and you've applied through Scholarship Central for all of our university scholarships, you have a higher likelihood of being awarded a scholarship. Students that are currently here, undergraduate students, we actually will not award you your federal financial aid until after spring grades post. So it's a little bit different if you're a first-year student or first-year parent. You actually got your award letter this past December, or a year ago December, I should say. So it's a little bit different for current students, just given the fact that we want to make sure that we consider grade progression. So if you have completed your freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, there are some different types of funding that you can get based on your grade level. And so we want to make sure that we have accurate information there. So again, if you're undergraduate current student, March 1st. If you're a graduate student, I would encourage you to complete it by May 1st. And so also there are still opportunities in Scholarship Central for graduate students too. So I would encourage you to do that. If you haven't, let me put a plug in for Scholarship Central. We have lots of students that complete our centralized application. This is where if you're an aerospace student, engineering student, arts and science student, unsure what your major is student, this is the one central spot where students can complete the general application. And then we have over 975 different scholarship applications. It's very, very slick. The scholarship committees will start making their selection shortly thereafter March. And I will say it will all also be contingent on when the U.S. Department of Education sends us the financial aid information. So students that have already completed their FAFSA application as of January 1st, perhaps, we are still waiting on that data So it might be just a little bit of a rolling date, kind of depending on, but one thing I want to make sure is, as folks know, is that we will make sure that students are aware. We also work with Cassie and Christie's area to make sure that the parent listservs are also updated if there's moving or changing deadlines. So March 1st, May 1st, if you have questions, please reach out to our one-stop student services, one-stop at und.edu or 777-1234, or stop by and visit them on the 3rd floor of the Memorial Union. Thanks.
Thanks, Janelle, to you and your team for all that you do in that space to make things easier for students and for parents like me who navigate those aspects. So again, I'm going to do another ask if there's any questions, and while we wait for some more, I'm going to ask Dean Bickle to come on screen. Dean Bickle, I think there's a lot of people who think the library is just where you go to check out a book. Some of us probably are still looking for a card catalog if we're a little bit dated, but I know since you've arrived on campus, you've done much to increase programming and to do things that people probably have never thought they could do in the library, like get little donuts every now and again is one that I keep hearing. So do you want to highlight maybe some of the newer services and things that people might be surprised to hear are happening at a university library?
Thank you so much, Cassie, for the opportunity to share some of that. So to affirm the fact that we still have many books available for checkout, and it's, though we also continue to expand our digital offerings, so our students and faculty can access high-level information wherever they are and can have it at their desktop. But some of the things I hope to have an opportunity to highlight that we've been doing is really thinking and responding to feedback that we've had about other opportunities for us to engage with students. Cassie gave a small example of that, which is Tiny Donuts Thursday. We know that there are a lot of conceptions that students have about what a library is. So maybe they had someone shush at them sometime during their life experience. Or maybe they have an assumption that, which we hear a lot, that there's no food in libraries. We want our students to understand that this is a space. I'm sitting here in Chester Fritz Library, and our libraries across campus are part of your home on campus. Come be with us. Let us be part of your formula for success. And that means, ordering a pizza in if you want, using our food delivery service on campus, or having one of our tiny donuts sometime. We're really trying to reinforce this idea of we're going to meet you where you're at. Along that same concept, we've been having great conversations about how we might look for more opportunities to step outside Chester Fritz to meet our students and faculty in other spaces on campus. So 2 programs we've launched. We've started having librarians in some of our residence halls. So if students are having study groups or other activities, the librarians being available to engage with them, to get to know them better. So we're really looking forward to feedback about that, and are there opportunities to expand that. We're about to have one of our librarians start spending time in one of the study halls in O'Kelly, being available outside those classrooms, outside the faculty offices. So they're just in one more space where our students are, to say, how can we support you? How can we help you be successful? So expanding our presence on campus is one piece. And then we're also have been expanding our hours. So we know that finals time is a particularly high stress time for our students, and where they're engaged in long hours of deep study. So we've expanded our hours, and this is an ongoing program now for Chester Fritz. So our students can expect us to be open until 2 a.m. From the first day of finals, throughout the entire period. And the library will be open, and they will have colleagues here who are going to help them struggle through that space, make them feel comfortable, and support them with whatever research services they have. So that's just a couple of examples. We want to be great partners to our students and faculty and support everyone's success. So thanks for letting me talk about those, Cassie.
I think it's great. As someone who is often shushed, I know you all find that surprising. As someone who is often shushed in a library, I appreciate all that you're doing to make it another space for students to engage and connect. President Armacost, I think we've reached all of our questions, so I'm going to ask you to join us. But as you do, I'm just going to put in a plug for a couple of things. So President Armacost kicked us off and let us know that Mr. Wonderful will be on campus on Friday. This weekend, we've got home hockey against Denver. On Sunday night, we have UND's Got Talent, so you can come and see the talents, which I hear some of which are very funny. The talents of some of our UND students. Next week, there is women's basketball. Next Saturday is a doubleheader. Men's and women's take on North Dakota State University on February 3rd. And I'm just doing what I can quick see on my calendar. There's stuff going on all the time. So parents, encourage your students to get engaged and attend activities. Students, check out what's going on, whether it's the many musical performances at Hughes, theater productions that are coming, athletic events in the Union. You can find out about a lot of things if you just go to the UND website and click on UND events. Melanie Linder and her team do a great job of getting information out there. So check it out. There's something truly for everybody at the University of North Dakota. And with that, President Armacost, it's to you to wrap up.
Yeah, Cassie, thanks so much for all that you do at these sessions and just the way that you facilitate the discussion. And I would like to have a Zoom round of applause for Cassie Gerhardt. She does an awesome job. Too bad on my screen, there's only one person showing, and that's me. So I trust that everybody clapped. In addition, let me thank all the people who signed in, the parents, family members, the students, whoever was on tonight. Thank you so much for the great questions. I think in the answers that you hear tonight, you get a sense of why UND is such a special place. It's the commitment of all these team members who exist for one reason, and that's to give our students the best experience they can possibly have. Our goal as a university is to make sure that we're creating learned graduates, folks who are going to lead in society in whatever way that they choose, and who are going to be exceptional citizens. So thanks so much for everybody who turned out tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. If you're on campus and you see any of us, make sure you come say hi. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening.